It's September 18th. And on this auspicious day, I have with me another Jamaican entrepreneur icon in the making, a young lady who is a part owner of a very cool hangout. And her name is Tara Carroll. She is the managing director of Cove Cool Out Restaurant and Bar Limited. And this is where they focus on providing Jamaican cuisine. And they've been in operations for a while. Tara is a management student, or should I say, a graduate of management studies. And I am very interested to hear her story about how it is that she got into entrepreneurship today. And I want to hear what she has to share with us today about this journey of entrepreneurship. And as usual, the format is we have a conversation, you listen, you throw in your questions, and we just have a nice wrap. Okay, so welcome, Tara. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me, Kira.
You are very welcome. And be comfortable. We're going to just have a nice talk, like we said before. I'm looking at your profile here, right, Tara? And it says to me that you were studying management at UE, right? Management studies at UE. And then all of a sudden, a fish fry turned into a restaurant. Please tell me, how did that occur?
All right. So from I was young, I was always into entrepreneurship. So from I was young in prep school, high school, I was always doing something, selling something, whether it's cheesecakes or anything. So I ended up going into UA, and by the second year, I decided to open up a fish fry in the back of my father's studio, which is located on 190 Mountain View Avenue. So that's close to the stadium. So what happened is I had a best friend. His name is Stephen Lee Sang, and then we decided we need to open up a business, and we decided to collaborate and turn it into a full blown restaurant.
So, all right, you skip out some things in the middle of the story. All right, so always entrepreneurial from prep school and thing. What are some of the things you were doing in prep school?
Okay, so well in prep school, of course, like every most kids, we are selling candy. But in
Mm-hmm.
high school is where it kind of more developed. I started in second form. I would say I did some hammock chairs. So that was a big production. I had to get like a carpenter involved and people supported. So
Okay. A lot of persons' entrepreneurial journey starts out of necessity. What inspired it for you? Because going to prep school and selling candy don't necessarily follow maybe like that rags to riches story where somebody is trying to sell the way as in earning and supporting themselves through school.
right.
What was the inspiration that got you into doing it?
Can I tell you, I don't know what it was. It was just a fascination of, I have no idea. I just,
Is it the
it was just
family background? Is it what you saw happening around you as you
it was
were
a
growing
family thing.
up?
My father is an entrepreneur. He
Mm,
has two businesses, so I would say I get it a bit from him,
mm,
right?
okay.
And then in high school, it developed more to where I would say I just saw things and I was just like, I think, I would go to my aunt and be like, I think that you'd like this hammock chair. I just saw things that people might possibly need, and then I'd fulfill that, that need.
So when you thought of the hammock chair and you said, okay, grandma, is it grandma that you thought of? And then you thought, okay, who else is like grandma? Because I mean, when you're starting a business now, well, your education would say you look for your market and stuff like that. Were you thinking about that at that age?
I gotta say, I haven't. I wasn't. I really, I truly wasn't. I haven't seen you what I was doing, and I think that, in all honesty, entrepreneurship isn't that serious. Like you don't have to have, and that's what people think, that you don't have to have everything together. It's just about your drive and just fulfilling what it is that your spirit basically tells you to do.
So there's a
So
curiosity
it's a curiosity. So
and
it's
a
just,
drive. Okay.
yeah. It's just doing
Okay.
what makes you happy. So in the moment, it made me happy to create those chairs and to sell those cheesecakes. I would say I went more into the cheesecakes and the baking, and
Mm-hmm.
that gave me enough income to, because I asked my mom to go to one of my best friends in New York. Her name is Jojo. And she was like, no, I'm not paying for that trip. So I was just like, how do I get the money to afford that trip? So I just started baking, what was it? It was tamarind cheesecakes, and that was a hot seller. So that's how I afforded these things. So
In high school.
in high school.
So how you learn how to make cheesecake using such a fancy ingredient in high school? Curiosity again?
Curiosity. It's just curiosity. Anything can be done. You just have to, research how to get it done and just execute.
Okay. All right. So we fast forward now and you're at UTech and you're studying management. And you started having, like, you had a regular thing where you would keep a fish fry. Is
Yes.
that it?
So my fish fry was once a week. It was on Fridays. And we had a good turnout. It grew. It grew a lot. And I just thank a lot of people who used to support me from then, because a lot of my customers from then, they came over to our new location, our location now, which is at 3 Winchester Road. And
where did you start? So you have the, and did it start after graduation? So the fish fry, did it evolve into the restaurant while you're in school or after you left school?
Okay, so it evolved while I was in school. And what had happened is after graduation, no, I think I did that for about 3 years. And then after graduation, I took it to Winchester Road. I tried to have the two at the same time, but so I eventually had the Jamaican cuisine, which was lunch, and I had the fish fry going on at the same time, and then I just decided to merge them.
So normally when we keep fish fry, nobody comes to a location per se. They come at the pickup. It's a pickup thing and you go and you have it. You're at school, so you'd have this done as I'm assuming at a kitchen somewhere, right? You have the fish fry on your order or whatever. And how I'm just asking how your business model evolved. I'm trying to get to understand how your business model evolved at first. So you're doing the fish fry, and the fish fry is the model where you hire it out, you get it done, and you have it delivered. You take your orders, you deal with the sales, and you take the orders, and you have them delivered, right?
No, I literally built a little shed in the back of my father's studio, and I hired some persons that used to cook over by Health Show.
Mm-hmm.
Brought them into town with very authentic tasting too, because we had the wood fire cooking too, which we still do now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just saw the need. I saw the need because people were driving so far for fish. So I was just like, all right, like why not just have it here?
All right. So you had the shed at the well, let's call it the spot at the back of the studio.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they're in school, and every Friday you have that going. Mm-hmm. What made you think, all right, can I now, or I should now transition into something else or something more?
So what it was is that the location that we had was on Winchester Road. We just thought to ourselves, all right, what kind of business should we do right there? So it's not that I said, okay, restaurant business. So I said, what could be a good business to put in this location? And when we looked at the area, there wasn't a lot of food suppliers in the area. Maybe halfway through our New Kingston, so it was a good mid spot. So we just went with a restaurant.
When you say we, who was involved in that decision?
So that's me and Stephen Lee Sang.
You and Stephen. All right. What year is this? What year is this that this happened?
Oh my gosh, you're trying to show how old I
am. around right here.
Approximately, I would say 2016.
It's around 4 years ago.
No, sorry. No, 2016, 2006, sorry.
2006, so this, all right. Because the Cove that is at Winchester now, did you have I'm trying to get the evolution from your transition. You're at you're on Mountain View or off Mountain View at the studio.
Which is Creative Sounds, by the way. Which is called Creative Sounds Limited, by the way.
All right, Creative Sounds Limited. Now, at what point in time, because the Cove is a registered limited liability company,
Mhm.
at what point, did you have a name for the business when you just started, or it was just a fish fry that you run?
Just a friend link up, it was just friend
Mm.
linking up, telling everybody. So then we decided, okay, this is a viable business. Let's go full on into it. So we took it to Winchester Road and we incorporated it, and yeah, and here we are now.
All right. So tell me, what is the vision that you have now that you have been running a restaurant for the past few years? What's the vision that you have for the business?
The vision that I have is just to grow it and scale it, and just continue to supply our customers with quality traditional meals, that they would often get.
Do you know what that looks like for you yet? When you say you want to grow it and scale it, do you know what it looks like?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I know what that looks like. So, like with our current location, we're implementing a few new ideas. I guess we can get to that a little bit later, but the goal is to have a couple locations. Well,
All right. So tell us, what does Winchester look like now? Because I haven't been there. I don't know it. Sell me on it. I saw something that you had on Facebook and social media, but sell me. Tell us what is the call? What is it
I
about?
hope you can come by one day soon. So, all right. So what we have, and I want to talk about how we were before and how we have evolved since Corona. So we have we're located towards the right hand side of the property. There are other businesses on the property also.
What number of Winchester is that?
Number three,
Number three.
we're directly across from civil aviation and bureau standards.
Okay, so kind of in the middle of
Yeah,
of Winchester. Hmm.
Chester Road. So you come in. We used to have a dining area on the inside and a dining area on the outside. Due to Corona, we cleared out the dining area on the inside and just have a takeout area. So in this area now, people come in, they stand 6 feet apart. Of course, we have stickers placed on the floor, and it's just a quick in and out, so everybody is safe, and we keep them sanitized, and it's just a quick turnaround. And we also have limited dining around the back now, so it's
It's
good.
breakfast and lunch. Breakfast and brunch I see as your specialty offers, right?
So
Right
it's
now.
breakfast, lunch, and on Fridays and Saturdays we're also open in the evening.
Okay.
But now we have to change because of the times, the
So,
different times.
okay. What is it? What is it that you're? What kind of restaurant is it? What is the theme? What is the vibe? What do you
Right.
focus on?
So the vibe is rustic. We try to stick to that theme, and it's completely Jamaican cuisine. Maybe we might have an international twist to it. So we'll have fried chicken, oxtail, curry goat, jerk pork, jerk chicken, the fish, the festival, the lobster, all these awesome meals. And then we'll have like a twist on certain items like jerk chicken pasta. We also have a taco night on select nights. It's called Taco Dan. So we
Okay.
have a wide variety. We have a wide variety.
Okay. So when I want us to, so you told us about what it is that you're offering now. I want to talk a little bit more from the business perspective. Um, your business model as it is today, how is it that can you share with us how it is that you seek to build the business, or how you sought to grow the business in terms of your customer base, and who it is that how you selected who to target based on what it is that you're now offering? How did you arrive at that as the determined thing that you're going to offer?
All right. So first of all, when we started, we decided to target the masses, which I would say is working class people. So our food is priced very affordable, between the prices of 400 to 1,000, maybe 1,000, 1,250.
Okay.
And there's select things that are a bit more, but we try to select something that is affordable for the common person, for everyone.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And so you're in half or three, you're kind of in the middle of, not you kind of bordering on based on location. You could target a more higher priced or a higher end market, or you could look and say, all right, well, stay in the middle, which is kind of where you are right now. Um, how is it that you, when you said that, all right, I see the business scaling and growing, looking at that kind of segment and that kind of offering, how is it that you see that transition happening
The transition happening.
from as in the growth, like what does it, I was asking you earlier, what does the grow the expanded and scaled version of the cool out look like? It's a restaurant and a bar right now, start targeting like mid-range
Mhm.
audience. Do you see that? How you see that the scaling look like? A faster in your business. Tell me if you don't want to tell me. It's all
Oh,
right.
no, no, no. I mean, in order to scale, I think that you have to really think about it. And the masses in Jamaica, like people earning over a certain amount of income is like a high amount of income is the minority, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is just to give people quality food, like that everyone can basically afford. I'm not really trying to go for expensive meals and just a few limited amount of people can afford. I want everybody to be able to enjoy, and a lot of the customers that we do have are regular customers. They will even come breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes every day. So I personally like that because it just shows that you're doing something right, and it's affordable for them. And you want repeat customers, at the end of the day. You want people to have a good experience and also to enjoy. And we don't skimp on quality also. So or the ingredients that we use are fresh and we don't skimp on quality. We just it's just about making people enjoy, That's the most
Okay.
important for us.
Okay, you've been doing this for some time now. What do you think is the reason that people keep coming back?
I would say keep coming back because of the quality and the consistency in taste, you know,
Okay. All right.
and the
Do
cool
you
out vibe.
and the cool out vibe? Okay. Outside of the that offering of um of the authentic Jamaican and the quality and the food, how is it that, because you didn't do any training in this, how is it that your studies at the university in management have influenced or impacted how it is that you operate the business now?
I think that it has influenced it tremendously. So much more that I continue on a continuous basis. I always try to improve on my skills. So I'm always doing programs or other things to just get better and better because in business, it's all about just improving and getting better and scaling. So education is just so important because if you don't have it, you're going to have to learn the hard way, you know? You're going to have to try and fail. And, once you have the tools and you equip yourself with that, it will become easier.
So can you, like, you started fairly early when you were operating without having the actual training in business. What is the distinction? What is it that you think has been like the most impactful from just getting that education and now being a business person yourself? What you think from just getting a business education has helped you as an entrepreneur now?
It has helped me to apply more structure within the business, and to be able to run it properly. Basically, you pretty much have to know your numbers. You have to know there. You have to know there are many aspects. There's marketing, promotion. Um, it's just so many things where it comes to like running a business properly, and formal training is so important. I mean, you can work for somebody else and learn all of these skills, but if you don't have it, trust me, it's going to be a longer road to success.
Where would you say you had your most challenge so far? So when since you've started and thing, what's the area that has given you the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge, I would have to say, I'd have to say maybe marketing. Marketing wasn't my strong suit, and it was something that I had to learn. So pretty much how I started and I grew, I just said, okay, I want to have a quality product, and it grew from word of mouth right there. So it wasn't that I was heavy into marketing, but now we're doing way more where that is concerned. So that was pretty much where I fell short a bit.
How did you mitigate this? Like, did you come into recognition of this on your own, or was it brought to your attention in some kind of way? And how did you mitigate it? Like, what did you?
I just had to try and learn the tools. I had to learn the tools. So for me, if if something is lacking, I'm going to obsess about it and I'm going to try and learn. You know what I mean? So it's not only about hiring somebody for me to basically do it, because it's not practical to, if you're a small business, to outsource everything, because marketing is very expensive. You know, it is very,
Mm-hmm.
very expensive. So my advice that I would give to anybody is try and, in your downtime, try and learn things, that can help you to basically decrease that cost. So for me, I basically took the time out to learn Photoshop. So some of the little editing, all these things I could basically do on my own, so that I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to outsource to everybody every minute. But major stuff you get done also. But it's important to try and learn aspects of a business. That's why they say do what you love, because the amount of time that you really and truly have to put in is it's a lot.
Yeah, it's significant.
So might as well you love what you do. You know what I mean? Because the amount of time that you really and truly have to dedicate to it. So it becomes fun instead of a job.
Okay. How have you gone about like selecting the team that now surrounds you? What kind of support do you have? Because you mentioned being a small business, you can't really afford to hire all of the technical competence that you always need. So obviously you have the operational side of things that's easy. You have to hire the chef, you have to hire the waiters and the bartender and cleaning staff and stuff like that.
Right.
But when it comes to building the business, how do you go about supporting and complementing your natural skill sets with what you don't actually do so well?
hmm So it's all about analyzing the company and seeing where you fall short and hiring properly and knowing exactly what it is that the business needs. Um, so it's just important to take your time and hire right, because it can end up being a hole in the bucket. You can end up just hiring somebody to do something for you, and they don't they don't really execute how it is that you want it to execute, so therefore you're not going to get the value out of it. So it's all about really and truly knowing what it is that you want,
Mm-hmm,
your
mm-hmm.
objectives and what you need to achieve. So
Okay.
that's important.
So your partner, what does your partner bring to your partnership that adds to the business?
So Stephen Lee Sang,
Yeah.
he brings the location. So both of us combined together. I had the skill set, he had the location, and we just came together and made it happen. And I do think in this time there are a lot of opportunities for people, even though it may look kind of rough out there right now with Corona and everything, but it's important for people to come together and collaborate, because you can create something that's just awesome. You may not be able to do it on your own, but when you have good people around, you just come together and just make something awesome.
Okay, so all right, what would you say? I'll ask you what your biggest challenge has been so far, and you said you basically tried to fill that gap by your own personal learning. So marketing isn't your major problem anymore. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't say it's not my major problem anymore. We're always trying to get better and better and better. And so I will still forever, in all aspects, be trying to increase the skills that it is, the skill set that it is that I have. So marketing is still a problem. I'm still always going to try and get better. Everything is still a problem because until it's perfect.
I don't know if there's anything as such as perfection. There's growth, but we keep on getting better. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So what would you say then? No, is the thing that you feel most proud of? What you say is like a big success for you so far in your journey?
A big success for me is simple little things like just seeing a customer's smile on their face. You know what I mean? The enjoyment of what it is that you executed. So we also do catering. So we've done weddings, we've done corporate events, and when a customer is actually happy and you see that smile on the face, it's just the most rewarding thing ever.
Okay.
It is amazing, trust me.
That's what makes it worth the while for you.
It makes it worth it. I'm telling you. I'm really telling you.
Okay. You're a young woman and you've started a business now and you've been operating a business now for almost 10 years. So you were even younger when you started. Were you faced with any challenges that were related to the fact that you are a young person and you are a female? Because those are some realities that we face. There are those realities. Did that affect you in any way?
It did. I think it does. I mean, you have to just. It is what it is, and that's my approach in life. Like things that hold you back or the challenges, I don't really dwell on them because you just have to get through it. You have to find a way to get through it. So yeah, it could have been easier if certain things were different, like if I was a male or if who knows. But to tell you honest truth, that's just life. You have to play the cards that you're given and try to make the best out of it.
It sounds like you didn't really have much of an issue there, so which is good
Oh,
because I've heard some stories. I've heard some stories.
I've had issues, like I've had issues. Like as you know, if you are if you're more promiscuous, I'm sure like you get more deals or you have those
The offers.
yeah, you get more offers and stuff, but you have to just, I guess what, just do it the hard way. I'm used to just doing it the hard way and figuring it out. So to me, I don't look at those things as challenges.
Then what would you say to another young woman who may be, starting out like you when you were just starting out at that stage and maybe needing to navigate the space where maybe it's not maybe it's not with getting into deals and partnerships that are laced with some innuendo and thing that she's trying to avoid, but maybe it's the staff that who feels like them can disrespect her because she look like she young and she soft. What would you say to her in terms of managing and commanding respect?
I would say that it gets easier. It gets easier. It's all a learning curve. Um, as I said, that's why it's so important to do what it is that you love, because if you don't, you'll just give up before you even before you even succeed. So it's just push on, just keep your head straight and fully focus on what it is that your goals are and what it is that you want for yourself, and just keep on grinding, baby.
Do you have any mentors, like people who you look up to and people who you consult with?
I do have a few people that I consult with, and I would have to say that you have to know what it is that you're looking for so that you can know who to talk to, because not everybody is going to give you good advice, or the advice that it is that you need. So I do have people that are I just that are pretty successful, and I just ask a lot of questions. I just sit down and I pick their brain. Like I'm that type of person that will just have a conversation with you because I'm very friendly, and I just pick your brain.
Like who would you say right now is like or has been like a big influence on you? Like, is there anybody that you really look to and say, boy, I really admire this person?
There's
Even maybe wants to emulate. I don't know.
there's no one person that I basically that stands out. There are a few. There's not one
Yeah,
in
man.
particular. So I'm going to call a few because I love their
Sure.
operation and how they get it done. So I would say Remax Elite. I have a few friends there, which is David Dixon and Richard Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they do business, and I normally sit with them and talk to them. Also, in the financial world, I would say Patrick Hilton. In the
As you list them, tell me what it is that you like about them. What is it that you admire? What stands out for you?
I love their business.
Okay, the
William,
type of business that they do.
yeah, not the type of business in particular, because to me, every business is pretty much the same. It's comprised of you have to use the same. You have to use the same tools to basically make it a success. So whether it is a bank, whether it is a real estate company or anything like that, you still have to, know your numbers. You still have to do marketing. You still have to have good um, customer relations with everybody. So it's just very broad. So it's not anyone in particular. I don't zone into, but it's just people's habits and how they conduct themselves. So I realize that the people who I gravitate towards are more structured persons, because I have been a person that I would say that I didn't grow up with a lot of structure, and nor did I go into a 9 to 5 job after school. So it was something that I had to notice within myself and say, guess what, Taro, you have to get some structure in your life. So whether it's health, because health is very important too. So physical health is important. I jog regularly, and mental health is so important, because if your mind isn't right, trust me, your business is not going to be right either. It's never ever going to be where it is that you want to be. So you need to take the time out to meditate and to just self-analyze your whole self and just ensure that you're happy, because if without happiness, it's not going to work.
Wow, wow, that's important. So you're basically just looking at people who they kind of have a resonance with you because of the fact that they are structured in what they do.
Yeah, and they have proven success.
Of course. Of course.
You
Okay, so how is it that because I noticed that you've participated in like business development programs, like on an accelerator program and thing. What got you into that? Was that the same need for structure? Why you pursued that?
I analyzed the program, and I really and truly loved how they broke it down, and the tools that it is that they focus on giving each of the entrepreneurs, to make them just a well-rounded business person. So I actually enter because for the blue economy, because I have made a conscious decision to you have to take care of the environment also, because you can't just take. You have to kind of give back and make it replenish itself. So we used to sell a lot of parrot fish and all those type of fish, and then you realize that doing that, it's affecting the environment and the beaches. Because I'm a person that, for me to de-stress, I need to just hear some words. I need to be on the beach. But you're seeing a lot of changes where, like Hillshaw, the sand is gone, everything like that. So I try not to stay away from the parrotfish and use more snapper fish, and I just tried, and that's how I got into the Branson program.
I was going to bring that up. I'm glad that you mentioned it because it's something that stood out for me when I was reading up on you, that you actually made a decision not to sell parrotfish. Because I have a personal peeve whenever I go out and I see it's on the menu or I see people having it. I know it's Jamaica. I don't know why Jamaicans love parrotfish so much.
There's nothing that a Jamaican person will love more
They
than
just
parrot.
have to have them
You know?
fried parrot.
And
I'm
let me
like,
tell you, I am a person that when I was younger, I only ate parrots. You could not get me to eat snackle, but it's all a mental thing. So I
exactly.
programmed myself to like it, and currently now I don't even love the taste of parrot anymore. So it
It's really about what I admire in your decision, because you have taken a business decision on this premise, is that you are actually acting in accordance with what you say you love. You said this many times, that I love what I do, and if you love something, you ought to want to have it be sustainable. You want to have it have longevity, and that means you have to make decisions that are going to support that. And so I am just taking this moment to say I admire that you have actually taken a decision to stand up for what it is that you love. That is the basis of your business. So big up yourself for
thank you.
that. What else though have you taken? What is the strongest takeaway that you had from participating in such a structured program though?
Hmm.
Because I know they can be very intense.
It's intense. It's
So,
intense.
what's the thing that you think was the biggest takeaway for you?
I would say the biggest takeaway for me is that you never realize you can never understand what it is that you can actually take on. Like I didn't think that I could take on a program like that while I was working and everything. It's a toll. It takes a lot, you know. It takes a lot of your time, but if you're committed, you'll get it done. But so I surprised myself where that is concerned, to get through the program while running my business at the same time, you know. So
What kind of sacrifices did you have to make?
sleepless nights. It was sleepless nights, but it was great. It was a great experience. I met a lot of awesome entrepreneurs, and we still stay in contact. So that is the most important thing, right? To me, you know what I mean. Building relationships is the most important thing where business is concerned. You know, because you can find out how one business can help the other, and you never know that. You never know how awesome it is to just ask to be able to speak with people in the same boat as you. You know,
Mhm. Yeah,
and to
that
be able
is.
to try and get through it together. So that was the thing that I basically took the most from Branson, is because it was a very lonely road, I would say, before, because I didn't have any mentors, I didn't have anybody to really speak to. Other than that, we were just me and Stephen were just trying to just do something, you know what I mean? But it's great. It's a big difference when you have people who are doing the same thing that you're doing, to speak to, and I think we should have
Just
more of that, in all honesty.
as in just more opportunities to share what this journey is like, because it is a unique journey.
Yeah.
When you take on entrepreneurship, it is basically you charting a course that nobody, even though others may have walked it, the one that you are charting is unique to
Right.
you. So
Mm-hmm.
it does help to have that kind of, I guess, support, collaboration or camaraderie
Yeah.
at the least.
Very, very important.
Okay. All right. So we have been talking now. We have about 19 minutes left. I'm going to ask persons if they're in the chat to or on Instagram Live and they want to throw us any comments, any questions, they can begin to do so. We'll see if we can get Tara to answer them for you. So that's that. And I want us to just now kind of get into you, Tara, speaking directly to, um, since you've talked about that, the importance of, having building relationships, building out partnerships, and also just having somebody else to communicate with about what it's like to be an entrepreneur. You mentioned this time, I'm going to go off a little bit on a tangent before I come back to the question, what I wanted to answer. But you mentioned something, and it stuck a bell with a point that was made from members of my team earlier, that if you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, there's going to come a point in time when the time that it takes for you to make that business successful is not going to be able to be split with the things that you normally had. So if you, for example, have a job, you're going to have to decide, okay, there's going to come a time when you may have to go into your own business and dedicate all your time to this business because that's what it requires. Yeah, it's going to mean that, the time that you usually hang out with your friends or whatever, you might need to cut down some of that. So I just wanted to reaffirm that this is not it's not avoidable. It's not something that you can go around. When you get into entrepreneurship, it is really, really intense, and you have to fully commit to it. So, on that same vein, I want to come back around to what I want to do to basically focus on, Tara, is to tell people, if you had to give just if this was the only moment that you had to say something to other entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs, what kind of advice would you give? This is the only moment that you're going to get to do it. Pretend. What is it that you would say to them as they are either about to embark or are at the beginning stages of their own entrepreneurial journey?
I would say it's learning how to manage your time, because you can go overboard by submerging yourself into your business also, and you don't even realize that time has passed, and you haven't really had much of a personal life, or vice versa. You could neglect your business a bit too much and be off, have with your private life. So it's about it's about time management, and I think with proper time management you'll be able to achieve a nice balance with the two.
You think that possible at Jukini? I think it's possible to have a balance. I talk to a lot of them and a lot of entrepreneurs, and I know that they say that
I'm not saying that I have even mastered that balance, but I'm trying. That's the most important thing, to just try,
Mm-hmm.
So because sometimes you end up going overboard. I wouldn't say overboard, because it's never overboard either, but not managing it properly, and then you end up having like guilt.
How do you deal with that, though? How do you deal with that?
I would say I just ensure that I'm just having fun with whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm not, just have fun. Just have fun with whatever you're doing. So with me, my business is kind of different. It's not an office business, so I'm constantly, meeting people, and I make sure to try to meet all my customers and have a little conversation with everybody. Just even how's your day and how is everything. And because I do think that is important right now for people to just communicate with others and just ask, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
Especially during times like this. So I would say that I had a good balance, but it did take some work. It took some work, and I'm still working on it, to be quite frank.
Okay. Um, what's going on in the world and what's going on locally? Um, how do you feel about your own prospects? Like, a lot of people who are in business are facing some really challenging times. I didn't ask you directly how it has impacted your business, but would you like to share how it is that what's happening has happened with you on the different levels that it has the potential to?
Well, I can basically break it down and say that, and for my business, it has impacted it. Of course, sales will decrease. So at that point in time, because the world is going to throw things at you. I mean, maybe now it's Corona, but it might be something else. So it's just for you to see what it is being thrown at you and just try to adjust. So In my business, sales has decreased because, of course, people are now at home, working from home, less people in the offices. But it's important to analyze your business and say, how is it that I can still get to the people the food that it is that they love? Because not that they don't want it, but it's just that maybe they don't feel safe to come out, or maybe they're not in the area. So we offer delivery. I mean, we always did, but we offer delivery now, so you can stay in your safe zone. We also will be implementing by next month a drive-up window, so you can just order and come and pick up by the drive-up window, and also, as I said, the takeout area. So it's just important to just adapt and not be hard on yourself, because every single person is going through it, every single business is being affected right now. But honestly, people probably still need your services. There are certain industries that obviously is at a standstill, but for other industries, there people still need your services, but it's just how to get it to them. So maybe you have to tweak a little thing, a few things, but it's just how to get to them.
Mm-hmm. Someone is asking about partnerships. They're saying that a lot of entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs have fears about going into partnerships to grow the business that they have or even to start. What advice would you give to someone who is in that situation?
Wow, I would say that's a real fear, because a lot of partnerships do go sour, but it is also a part of knowing who it is that you're going to be doing business with. I mean, are they on the same page as you? Do you guys have the same mission and goal? You know? So just like in hiring somebody, you have to know if this person is for you. So it's the same thing with partnership, because same thing with
It's
partnership.
like a marriage, right?
Partnership.
It's like or any other relationship. You have to find where the opportunities for complementarity and the opportunities for complementing and compatibility
Exactly.
lie.
Compatibility is so important, because it's not going to be all laughs and giggles. Everything is not going to always be great. So you have to have a partner that complements you, and just that you guys can relate to each other.
Yeah, and if you're doing the kind of assessment that you mentioned before, as in the self-assessment, then you get to self-assessment and assessment of your business, you get to see where the gaps are that exist because of your own shortcomings, or based on what is happening or what direction the business needs to go in. And so you get to look and identify look for those things in a potential partner,
Exactly.
because partnerships are supposed to they're supposed to add value. It's not, you don't just look for the sameness in the partner. You want to have somebody that is actually going to mesh
Right.
and create synergy, something more than what was,
Exactly.
for
So friendships and business do work, because as I said, me and my partner were best friends, but I guess we were best friends because we complemented each other. So
okay.
it made for a good partnership in the end.
So he's structured then, because based on what you said, you're the one that don't have the structure. So I'm
Yeah,
taking it that
he is.
okay. So
I'm more
he
structured person though. It's something that you can achieve. So I would say, yeah, he is though.
okay. I like that. I like that you mentioned that you can actually improve upon, because some people are a little bit more fixed and some people are a little bit more flexible. But every skill can be learned.
Yeah, man, you're
E-
constantly learning in life, constantly learning. You can always say that you don't know anything because you're constantly learning.
I agree with that. All right, so we are just about on point to wrap up. Miss Tara Carroll, you have been spending quite a bit of your lunchtime afternoon with us today, and I appreciate it. Want to thank you for coming on. I'm not seeing anybody else jumping in to give us any questions. So I'm going to take that as our opportunity to jump out and maybe have people call in. I don't know if you want to tell them what's on the menu for lunch so
Sure.
that they can
I
call
would
in.
tell everybody. So hopefully you guys can join us for lunch today. We have jerk chicken, jerk pork, fried chicken, Barbie fried chicken. You need to come by and try that. That's so awesome, Kiro. Come through. That's our number one seller. We also have fish and lobster. Or fish fry that we normally have in the evenings is now offered straight throughout the day in lunch. So all pescatarians can come through also.
I can come with $1,000 and get myself some food.
Of course, you can come with $1,000 and get a fish and festival.
What? I think I might be just doing that.
Or you can stay in the office and have it delivered. So
Oh no, it's a Friday. I feel like I want to come into the office. You must. I have been here. We've been working. What is it now? We work from home some of as much as is possible, and we come in office. But I find that everybody that I talk to is getting really kind of scatterbrain, harebrained with just this confinement and this restriction. I would kind of want little reasons sometimes to come out.
you brought that up because it's so important for people to not get too caught up in what's going on, because at the end of the day, we only have one life. We have to still live, but we can
We still have to connect. Yeah,
exactly.
we still have to find a way.
You can social distance and hang out with your friends. I mean, we do it there at the Cove, and when you see people's face after they hang out with their friends, it's like they're just ready to take on the world again. You know what I mean? It's
man. I like a vibe. I like a change up in the scenery. I like a change up in the vibes and so on. Randy Burgess is saying best seafood in town. Okay, you're getting a big up.
Randy Burgess.
Randy Burgess. Apparently one of your loyal customers.
Yes.
All right. So, Tara, unless you have something else that you want to throw out there, we got the lunch menu, guys. So you can. How do they reach? What's the phone number?
Okay, so you can call 876-480-9883, and you can place your order right there. And you can also email ordercove@gmail.com before 10 a.m.
All right. So it have to be before 10 o'clock?
No, for
lunch?
For email.
Oh, okay.
We can also order online soon, but that's to come.
Innovation coming. I like it. All right. Thank you, Tara. And look out for me later coming for lunch. I want a fish. I want a fried fish on a festival.
Most definitely. You have my number. Call me.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to seeing that growth and that scale up that you're talking about in the future, And remember, people, you saw this rising entrepreneurial icon here on the entrepreneur's journey here at JBDC. I want to have another follow-up with you sometime down in the future when we're sharing a bigger story of bigger successes from you. Okay, Tara? This has been Tara Carroll from the Cove Cool Out Restaurant and Bar, people. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this afternoon, and to see you again next week. Remember to check us out on all the social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you also have this lovely library and archive of virtual sessions that we've done, meaning JBDC has done over the past 4-6 months or so. Go there, check it out, get some information, learn some things about your business, how to get into business and that kind of thing, and then link us here at JBDC for support. All right, enjoy your afternoon and your weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.